You don't got to be friends with your ex. I don't know what lie you're telling yourself, but when you're friends with your ex, what you're doing is deep down, subconsciously, indirectly, you're keeping that person around as an option. And you might lie to yourself. You might say, oh no, we're really cool. We get along. Look, I got along with all my exes. That's why I dated them. But the reality is, out of respect for the future relationships I'm going to be in, I'm not going to keep them in my life. Imagine me going on a date with a girl and she picks up the phone and she's like, hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. Hey, hello. Yeah. No, we can hang out later. Yeah, okay, I'll call you. I'm with a friend right now. We're just eating some food. Sorry, that was my ex-boyfriend. How would you feel? How would I feel? I'd be like, oh, you still keeping that there? Would you want that on a first date? Would you want your son dating a girl like that? The answer is no. So out of respect for your future partnerships, you got to cut off your exes. And if you guys are such good friends, you're operating from a mindset of scarcity. You can't make more friends out there. Your ex is your best friend. That is a crazy mindset to be in. Once you've explored the I love yous and what's our first kid's name going to be, and I want to live in this cul-de-sac, and I want to get married on this day, because you've done that with your ex, it's hard to go back. You can't rewind time into friendship. Like, it ain't realistic. Cut it off. Move on, let them live their life. You've got to deprioritize that emotional relationship that you have in order to reprioritize and make space for what's new in your life.
I mean, he was spitting. Talk that shit, brother. Damn. I mean, instantly, right? So like I have to take myself a little bit out of it because I feel with the children obviously change things, right? But I'm thinking just relationships without kids involved. I would mostly, from my perspective, I would agree. I understand that if you have a long-term relationship with someone and you have shared those I love yous, talk about living on the cul-de-sac, all that it is, I could see where that is hard to let go of. Even if you think that you did, down
Deep
the road,
down,
what if that situation pops up again or that person is like, hey, I wish that we could give it another try.
Or a conversation kind of like piques you or kind of like, because, I mean, that's a deep conversation.
I really liked that whole, like, you have to deprioritize them to reprioritize your current situation.
And it's deep because, I mean, I'm going to be honest. Like, I'm friends with several of my exes. I'm not best friends, but I have friendly relationships with them. Not around them. I'm not, I don't go out with them and stuff like that because I don't see them. Luckily, I don't live in the same state anymore. Right. But once in a while, my birthday, I get a phone call, Hey.
See, that's a little bit different.
And sometimes the conversation talks about life and what they're going through in their relationships and their lives. And so
spicy.
Sometimes it gets a little like, you wonder, some advice. Oh, well, you figured it out. Well, we all think we figured it out, but we figured it out. You've been with somebody for a while and, and you seem to figure it out. I need some advice. Like, why I keep running into these losers? Why I keep picking these bad guys? Now, is that wrong to have that conversation?
I don't know. I see. I wouldn't.
Like, to me,
currently, I don't have that situation where I even could do that.
Right, but I don't. Like I honestly can say that when I talk to them, I don't feel a thing.
Maybe because
so much time has gone past.
Different strokes for different folks, maybe too.
And my one ex, I was with for a long, long time. 8 years.
That's a long time.
And we were talking about marriage, like he was saying in the video, and dreaming and stuff like that.
Kids' names?
Yeah, with the first kid we're gonna live at, where you want to live at. Like, it was that. But we were young too, so I don't maybe that's part of it. Your situation,
I feel like mine
you were grown.
Mine doesn't apply as much. I feel
because it's children there.
Yeah. But
somebody could say, yeah, you take care of the kids, but you don't have to be friendly with the person.
Right. I did go on a few dates with someone who asked me multiple times, do you ever see yourself getting back with your ex-wife? Mm-hmm. I was like, no.
Right.
But it made that person uneasy.
Oh, a lot of people won't be easy with it.
Yeah. I get that. And I mean, we're cool people now.
Right.
But we didn't continue dating.
Right, because some people don't trust what you guys had being done pre-divorce, pre-issues.
And it's funny too, because since with that person specifically, I have not recently, it's been a long time, but I have since we stopped, I have sent a text before that been like, hey, still not back with my ex. Like, as a joke. But like with the question that he asked, he said, so like, put yourself in that situation. And you say, would you be happy if that happened to your son or your daughter? So you have both sons and a daughter, and I have daughters. If they were on a date with someone, first date's kind of hard because if someone's answering a phone call from their ex on a first date, like that's a red flag.
That's totally different.
I don't care how cool you are. You probably shouldn't be answering the phone on first date.
Right.
Let's say you're a couple weeks in and you're hanging out with someone, like you're at someone's house. It's not so intimate where it's like a dinner where it should be all attention paid. Like it's not inappropriate to like pick up your phone and answer a phone call.
Right.
And they're on a date with someone doing that, and that person's ex calls them and it's like, oh no, Jimmy, I got time to talk. I got time to talk. I don't want that for my kids.
That's 100% red flag.
Yeah, I don't want that for my kids.
Yeah. So
because you are at that point in that specific situation, like that is prioritizing the ex in a sense because you're with someone new right now. Like you could literally see the call. If it's an emergency or something, they could text you. But if you don't need to answer that phone call, then you could call them back later. But if you're answering it during it, I feel like that's a serious red flag.
And it's like I know several people who are divorced and remarried and are still close friends because whatever, the marriage didn't work because it could be amicable.
Right.
Split. We grew out, we got together young. We grew out of this relationship and we became friends. 2 years down the line, you meet somebody new, but you're still friends with the other person on a platonic level. Like, even though y'all had this life together.
Right.
You had kids and everything together, but you're still friends and like one of your closest friends. Because I've heard people say, oh, my ex is one of my best friends. I'm like, ooh, that's fine. I can see it because I know in me that I can turn that off.
Right.
The other part of it.
Right.
I just think I can. So I don't feel anything. So, but the new person coming in, I can see the apprehension.
100%.
And seeing like
that's why when that girl said that, like, there's no hard feelings.
I mean,
I don't blame it.
God forbid you pick up the kids or dropping the kids off, and hey, have a glass of wine.
And I've done that.
And start talking and everything, and the past sometimes comes up because somebody might be like, oh, I screwed up. You were the best thing I ever had. People have those conversations,
that's
and
true.
then all of a sudden you might not like. I've been in a situation even when I first got into my relationship, and I can be honest. I told her. Like in the beginning, I was still like, it took me a while to get. I thought the ex was completely out of the system.
You didn't cut it out.
It was certain, and the person wasn't even around me, so I wasn't even talking to her.
Right, but the thought was lingering.
It was still stuff there. Like, damn, I've been with, I ain't saying to her, but I'm thinking to myself, I've been with this new girl 6 months. I was with her 8 years. Right. Like, man, like.
What's that comfortability, right? Like,
yeah,
because especially when you're thinking of the past, you tend to not think about the negative.
No, you think about that song coming on the radio.
Yeah,
and you're
like, damn, I miss it.
And like you said, you miss the good parts, and you almost gotta like me. It's something I always do with myself. I make myself think of the shit. Like,
absolutely, you have to.
Yeah, like, you know what?
You have to. And I think that's probably, I feel like I could speak from my ex in this situation too. I know both of us.
Yeah.
We have daily reminders of there's no chance because we will remind each other frequently.
Right.
Especially because you can see when there's kids involved, you can like, some of I don't want to say bad because, people's traits are people's traits. But like one of the kids will do something and you're like, yo, guess what so-and-so did today? And they're like, yeah, that's you.
That's you all day.
And you're like, okay, I heard that.
and I get it. But then I guess the issue of it is your partner, your new partner.
Right, they might not like that.
And they don't understand it and don't see how you feel.
That's a huge part of it. And I think like in my situation, I think the part that helps is my partner doesn't have that in their situation. Mm-hmm. And so I would say that she's envious of what we have, not in like a jealous way, but like I wish could have that.
Me and my ex were the same way, right?
But I mean, she's also able to. That's not a negative for her.
Yeah.
There are probably some people who would see that, be jealous of it, and that's a negative.
Yeah. Or
they can't, since they can't get it, or they don't have it, they don't understand how you could have it.
Well, I know guy friends who believe that's a no-no.
I
know some guys that really like ain't no way. That's some movie Peyton Place type of crap. Like my friends are telling me when they hear about like a lot of my friends, and y'all know who y'all are, especially certain ones. When they hear about oh yeah, the exes are friends. Oh, they went out on a date with the two couples. The two, like the exes went out with their new people together to dinner or to whatever with the kids or whatever. Oh hell no.
I know people still look at me like I'm crazy because we've done that.
Right. I know, and I
just did it Monday.
To me, I'm like, oh, that's what they want to do. If they all fine, it's fine.
Right.
But I know people who are like, that's crazy.
I mean, people have told me I'm crazy.
They don't live your life though.
Then I think one of the things for me specifically, I put my children above anything.
Right. As you should.
I don't give a shit what my personal feelings are on something. I will play the role of cordial.
Right.
Whether I feel that or not.
We're trying to be an example. We're trying to be an example for
exactly.
them. Right.
Exactly. They didn't ask for me to have a bitter relationship with their mom.
Right.
So I don't play that. But if take kids out of it, I don't think I'd be down with it. And it's funny, I feel, and this is where it gets interesting, right? Like, I think it depends on which side of the spectrum you're on too, right? Like, I think that in my own life, I would expect a female that I'm with to be understanding if I was friends with an ex. However, I wouldn't want it on the other side.
You're a typical man.
Yeah. I wouldn't want that. But I think that almost goes back to like our first episode where we're like, can you be friends with the opposite sex?
Yeah.
Because I think women are more in control of that end goal, right, of things.
I think so.
And if there's an ex that's a guy that's hanging around, you think if that opportunity presents, he's not going to jump on it.
Right. Oh yeah.
Whereas,
see,
the opposite, I don't. Yeah.
And
I could be wrong.
I probably could be the way you are, but I, for the greater good of myself, won't do that because if I'm gonna stand on be saying I could be friends with a female,
right,
then I gotta let her be friends with males.
I mean, you have to, yes, and,
right.
So the world of equality,
I can't do it. I can't.
That's what I'm happy right now that I don't have to deal with that because I don't.
Right.
I don't know if I like it.
Right, but think about it though. Like you have female friends, and you know she have coworkers at some point that they eat lunch sometimes, or it happens. And
see, that's different though. That's like an emotional in a bad way. I don't think I don't. I wouldn't ask that for me.
Have you? But you probably have ate lunch with a coworker, and well, I mean, you worked virtual for years, but at some point in your life, you probably have like, oh, we on the road, and coworker has to grab a bite.
I view that differently than an ex, though.
Oh no! Oh yeah! Oh, we talking about? No, I'm saying females in general.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm saying.
I thought you were saying.
Oh no!
Like if she works with her ex, and they're eating lunch in the cafeteria.
Hold on. Let me clarify that.
I'm coming in the workplace, guns blazing.
I'm not eating with my ex, and she eating with her ex.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we know either one of us eating with our ex, or no,
that's red flag city.
No. I was just saying females in general. We were talking about that old episode.
Sorry.
Having guys having female friends, and But the ex, no.
So wait, add food into it, right? So now let's go back Let's add food into it. I like food, right? So
you're not gonna turn on the meal.
Going back to the original idea.
Might cook your favorite meal from the past.
Right. So, but would you be? Have you ever had a meal with one of your exes by yourself while with somebody else?
Since I've been with my girl now,
just in general.
In my past, but I didn't give a shit back then. I was young, so I didn't care
what
I was
people's feelings were. But you didn't care.
No, I was trifling.
So, so the answer almost is like, because I don't think I almost feel like that.
I've done that.
I almost feel like that crosses the line.
I've done it and knew it was wrong.
Right. Okay.
Like I've done it and trying to get caught.
Bad man.
Yeah.
You weren't even open about it.
No. Back then,
What if your wife today was like, I'm gonna go have lunch with Jimmy John Jacobs?
No, that's not. Well, she has done it for business, but not ex-boyfriend. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. For business, that's different. I'm in sales.
No. She's never been out with her ex, and I wouldn't. So that's all right. So I believe everybody sets their own pace and rules in a relationship.
Right.
Like we and her might do something that you might not do. You might say, "Oh, that's too far," but as long as me and her on the same line with it, so even in my head, I can go out with my ex and eat and be fine because I'm in control. I feel like I'm in control of the situation. But I know I wouldn't want her to do it with her ex, so I just won't do it. So that's where I fall back.
That's a level of respect.
That's a level of, if I'm not, if I'm gonna do it, whatever I do, I feel like she has a pass to do the same thing.
I would agree.
So that's where I draw my line in. So, nah, yeah, but no, exes are dangerous because speaking from a guy, I know what buttons to push with my ex because people don't change much.
This is true.
And if I want to be a slime ball, I could be so I don't want that other guy who knows my woman at
true.
some point to.
Nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
And people get caught up in it.
They do. That's why I know so many people that remember the good things. I'm like, I should just get back with so and so because it was easier. And I'm like, do you not remember that you literally beat each other up?
I know a lot of people together who beat each other up.
You don't remember that part?
The time so she nice stabbed me, I'm like,
I still got that stab mark right here. It's right above my heart.
But she loved me.
Oh, that's over here.
Yeah, but yeah, so
she only stabbed me because she loves me.
It's dangerous, and I understand why people do get uneasy, even in a healthy situation, even with kids. I can see, and I don't think your situation, I'm just using it as an example. I could see her feeling some type of way.
100%. And I wouldn't blame anyone.
Right. And it's not nothing you do, but you got to stand on your two and be like, hey, guess what?
Also, I mean, I've in my situation, but in all people, I think the open and honesty portion of your relationship is huge. It's not like that got sprung at one point and was just like, oh, by the way.
Hey, this is how because of my kids, this is what I do. And I made everything, no matter what went down in my ex relationship, I made sure that we were good. And guess what? No matter what, we're still family.
100, exactly.
100%. Because those are our children. I don't want her romantically. Because I know all the dirt and all the things I don't get along with, and vice versa. She probably looks at it right. So if you say that and be honest that's the problem we were talking about earlier. People aren't straight up.
Yeah, they're not.
And if you be straight up,
yeah, that's the 10. I'm going with the 10.
Yeah.
Level of honesty.
See. So as long as you if you straight up about it, even somebody straight with me, if I was in vice versa in that situation, if she's being straight up with me, even if I don't like it, at least I can say, no, what, she's keeping a buck. But I do hear a lot of people. I hear it in my head right now. People are like, hell no.
Oh, I do too. I do too. And it's funny because,
but why though? But why?
Insecurity.
So
or just lack of honesty in their relationship or something like that.
Because if you were secure in a relationship, would you worry about that?
No.
See, that's what people always say. Well, no, it's not that, because I had this conversation with a friend recently. You are opening a door. I'm like, well, if my person doesn't want to go through that door.
That's what I was saying. So if it's opening a door, if my person wants to walk through that door, don't let it hit you on the way
That's
out.
right. And then I can do anyway.
Deuces.
That means it's in them.
Exactly.
But some people don't believe that. Believe that, you're just tempting fate. Well, if that person is the kind of person that would do that anyway.
I mean, if it's fate, it's fate. They already got it in them.
So that's where a lot of disagreements come in with me. Like people say, well, if you let her go out, or your girlfriend let you go out be around women, something's going to happen. Like, if it's in that person to do, if I go out with a bunch of guys who's going to smoke crack tonight, I ain't smoking crack. Because it ain't in me to do. So that cracks me out. It's only when it comes to women, but I can go out with guys that do a guy could be doing heroin, they can do all types of stuff. And just because I go out with them, I'm gonna do it too. No, because it's not in me. So why you think I'm gonna go out with another of my boys and they all being hoes, I'm gonna be a hoe too.
Everybody.
If it's in you, it's in you. And like you said,
facts.
even with you were talking about the situation, if it's not in you to do that, why do people worry? I guess it's natural to worry. I
mean, yeah, worrying is a thing. I don't know. Let us know in the comments, right? Let us know what you think.
It's a tricky one, actually.
Because I think we're all over the place. Interesting. I'm not set in stone. That's a tricky little subject.
At first, you were more like
I was.
That you kind of
I'm more. I understand it in my own situations, but as far as the general,
because it's your situation, because you know how you feel
exactly. So I understand what I'm doing in my own life, but I'm trying to also put if there were 0 children involved, I would be perfectly okay not having a relationship with my ex.
Mm-hmm. But say if you did, but not just a friendship.
I don't think I would. Out of respect, again,
right.
To deprioritize
right.
that and to prioritize my new situation.
Like you just a little step further, there's people who've been in relationships with people, maybe say 10 years ago, and they became friends, and they like best friends. You see tons of movies about it. You know, best friends now, and then you meet your new person and say, "Hey, my best friend, did you ever date?" Well, we dated way back in the day, but it never came. You know,
I almost feel like that's slightly different too. If you're
Is
talking
it?
like, I don't know, people change. Like 10 years is different.
but I think it's
yeah,
always,
we dated in college.
But I think sometimes there's still like the other person still feel like
Depends.
at some point,
Depends.
like that thing I sent you yesterday when a woman said about her wedding. And they asked her that, was there anybody in your wedding party that you slept with that your husband does not know? And she said yes.
What are you doing in that situation? I'm throwing everything in it. Like I'm not even like I'm not a crazy person. I feel like I'm very in control of my physical
And
reaction.
she said, I'm not telling who because it doesn't matter.
Oh, it does.
Somebody she slept with her past that was in their wedding, was invited to their wedding.
Oh, invited.
Not in the wedding party, invited to the wedding.
I don't
You know how you feel. Like you don't know how you don't see these all
was
these
it in college? Was it a one-time
but
thing?
does it
Was
matter?
Yes.
Does it matter when it was?
Yeah.
So if it was 18 years old compared to 30, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think so. Because the person you are at 18 is not who you are at 30.
But
I'm a
does it-
completely different person
Right,
in my
but does
30s.
it feel weird to you?
Does it feel weird? Yeah.
They know that some guys watch you get married that at some point was, yeah.
But I mean, it's not like at 18 he was throwing it down that way. Like, we're good.
Until you get one of those, I don't know.
I'm
Sometimes
not
you
worried
wonder
about
what's in
that
the back of somebody's head.
Oh,
Because I know women in my personal life who have told me at times where they had situations. Well, you know, I love this guy. I'm with blah blah blah, but sometimes sexually, but the problem is I know how I was with my ex, even though he was he sucked. You know what I mean? So. They'll like judge it, you know what I mean? They'll like in a head, but still that's weird. Like, but I guarantee she would never tell him that. That's what she told me.
I'm ready for an entire episode on certain things. I'm mind blown.
Well, that one, right? Because
Can you be friends with your ex? I'm sorry. Would you be okay with your significant other being friends with their ex and hanging out with them? Not like friends, like hanging out.
Yeah, what he said
Like,
was
we cool.
totally.
That's wild. Let us know. Keep it posted in the comments. I'm trying to read them all. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you next time.
Peace.